Big Pick 5 carryover here tonight at Century Mile. $70,000 will be carried over into that pool. A huge, huge number. That's a monstrous carryover where, I mean, we're looking at big numbers here. This could be hundreds of thousands of dollars. Personally, I hope we're looking at $400,000 to $500,000 in new money. McCord, give me a number. What's your guess?
Oh man, I'd love to see it. If it hits $400,000, I'm very happy. If it hits $500,000, man, I'm over the moon. This is going to be a really special night. Also cool to see what's happening at HPI bet too. If you're using that, I know a lot of people have been. I've turned quite a few people onto the HPI who are new to the sport this last little bit. That 3% cash back on the $40 minimum bet is just a great incentive on a night that's absolutely loaded. This is going to be a great card. This Pick 5 is going to be a lot of fun, I think.
10 race card tonight does get underway. 5:15 local time here in Edmonton. The Pick 5 will tip at 8:15, so we push things back just a touch. We've got TVG coverage tonight starting in race number 6. The last 5 races should be huge here at the mile. I mean, kind of got maybe a big night brewing here, and in terms of a handle record. A Pick 4 carryover goes in the second race of $15,000 as well. Of course, I forgot to introduce you, Scott McCord from the Bear Rocks. Let's rock this ticket out. Race number 6, where the Pick 5 does start. It does say $15,000 guaranteed, but sure, you can toss that out. 70 grand is in that carryover. Again, hundreds of thousands of dollars likely wagered into this. We got lots of time before this race does tip. And how do you see the 6th breaking down here, Scotty?
I like to start to be in this one. You got Rico Walcott on that horse, and he loves a horse that shows like this. That's just an all-around great horse. But I'm also going to take Entitled Star on this one. I like the closing pace and the back speed on this horse as well. I think if Entitled Star can get a great start out of the gate, then you can see some really good stuff coming from Entitled Star. I'm also going to say that they've got the 3-to-1 price on Pop's Little Girl. Maddie, is everyone else seeing something that I'm not here? Do you think the 5 furlong is going to be her style?
If she's going to win, it's going to be at 5 furlongs. You saw a couple scores there last year here at the mile going 5, one on a fast track, one on a muddy track. The problem is the horse two are inside. Now, I would hope the two Petrowskis, the two speed races in the horse don't go head and head, but they could.
It's entirely possible, yeah.
So that'll be the big thing. If Pop's Little Girl is the one that they want to go to the front and see how far she can take them, she can, and she can get brave. Those last 16th of a mile, though, might be a little hectic, as the two horses you mentioned there should be closing well. It's to be does get Rico Walcott here, and I think that second 2 starts back would put her pretty close in this one. Entitled Star, same thing, been right there with similar company. So it's a matter of how many you like, and you definitely want to have the 4. It's a matter of, do you take the speeds 5 furlongs and hope that they can sneak away and maybe just run 1-2 the whole time?
That's the thing.
This
is
you kind of tough sequence.
And it's funny too, where the sequence sort of gets it's a bit of a roller coaster on this Pick 5 too, where you've got in this 6 race, you've got a lot of horses that have some of the tools, but not all of the tools. So I think a Star to Be an Entitled Star is the 2 that you want to go for sure. And then if you're feeling brave after that, man, there's a couple of ways this could go. So
Star to Be race, I think that one of almost a year ago now, or more than a year ago, August 3rd, when she was in for 5,000 at Assiniboia, just be able to sit behind early and then make that run going 5.5 furlongs, probably the one that she'll want to pull off today. And Rico Walcott has been on another planet recently. So.
And just to have him on a horse with clothing speed like that, I think is going to be the key there. So Star to Be looking real nice.
Race 7, the start of the second Pick 4. So if you don't have the winner of the Pick 5, you can get right back in. And the Pick 4 starts in race number 7. And another one here that's a lot of ways to go and really no standout. The favorite is the 5, Ever True. Rico Walcott, again, your boy, got speed. But the first 2 times here, he was beat at 3-5.
Sure, and I think I like going with Ever True here, just because it is a 5.5 furlongs. He's coming off a very fast 6 furlong win the last time out. I think that closing speed is just going to be there for him. I don't want to say this is a 1-horse race, but I think the problem that you're going to have is, again, not a lot of horses with a full toolbox. Something like Moon Juice is a great horse at a 5-to-1 price there. But are you going to have that closing speed down the stretch? Is that going to get you there? I also, the 5.5 furlong dirt, I just don't like the pace of a lot of the other horses. I'm going to stick with Ever True on this one and say that's your slam dunk. we'll see what happens, though. Like you said, there's a lot of ways that this could go, and a race like this can change, change paddles midstream and quite quickly too.
The big thing here, 42 horses here after the one scratch of Thrill of the Chase, and you've got to be slim somewhere if you're trying to play an affordable ticket, and this might be one. I think there's lots of other ways you can go as well. Towards the inside, Johnny Runner, that race 2 starts back. He was right there. It was going 6.5 furlongs. You mentioned going 5.5. Might change things up just a bit, but he can come with a run. Probably put a line through his last one after he got away slowly. Never really had much of a chance there. Siberian Bear's taking money in his 2 starts at the level. Our Money Cat, third, beat a half. Second, beat 3 lengths last time out, going 6. Blazing Channing broke the maiden 2 back. Sarah PG, not without a hope. Maybe the one who's going to be closest to Ever True in the early stages of this race anyways. We'll see if he can make it tough on him. And the horse you mentioned in Moon Juice, kind of an interesting stat here for trainer Craig Smith as the beaten favorite. So if you set up the favorite last time out, he's sitting at 35% in their next start.
Wow.
So that's a huge number for kind of an odd stat. But right back at the same level, Malvez does get him in light here, does lose Rico to the other part of the entry. But I think that race behind Little Brian is good enough to be interesting here anyways, and you're going to get a bigger price, obviously, than you do on Ever True. So another race, you're going to need a few. I mean, this sequence is tricky top to bottom. Maiden allowance race goes in race number 8. And where do you start here? Maybe on the inside, Devil's Command. Second last time up behind Trader Lynn for 20,000. Does go back up here for no price and also stretches out to a mile.
Perfect horse for rider Rigo Sarmiento too. The huge closing speed there. I think the knock on Devil's Command has been like a does he live up to the billing type horse, and I think that might change today. I'm also looking at Provocative Prince at the 2-1. I've seen Provocative Prince do some really nice stuff this season. And again, is this an underachieving horse? Is this the kind of horse that you look at where it's been a favorite and it has failed a little bit? I think Shannon Beauregard is the right jockey for this horse. Provocative Prince and Devil's Command is what I'm going with here.
He ran into some tough ones there through the debut this year behind his stablemate Banded Peak, who looked good that day. Irish Trick was the buzz horse all spring. Lanny Mac. Yeah, exactly. Also, it took a little while to get that done, but did break it when he got the right field. Lanny Mac, who's Smart Fix's younger brother, was meant to be a good horse, was second behind that one last time. It looks like the more ground, the better for the 3-year-old son of Munnings. There are some other interesting ones in here, though. The 2 Kentucky Roll is a filly taking on the boys. Wanted to go this far. Should be tighter now. Second time off the layoff. She does have speed. We'll see how far she can take them with Shamari Muir for trainer Rick Hedge. You did mention Provocative Prince, Ryan Water. There's Rico again. You got to watch where the bouncing Rico ball does land. That's true. Was third 2 back. Beat a length and a quarter behind Provocative Prince, just a neck behind him. Tried the Count Latham. Can't blame him. Hey, 3-year-old deer. Got to see if he can get to the Derby. But in a much better spot today. And obviously Rico sees fit to ride. I think the horse to beat is the 7 here in Tannen. And talking about Craig Smith's stats with kind of a strange one as the beaten favorite. D. Walper is a killer. First time at a route, hitting at 43%. And second career race, she's 3 for 5 with a $15 ROI. So if you bet $2 on all 5 of those horses, you're making $15 for every 2. So she's great with these kind of horses. He's a son of Mine Shaft, 6.5 would not be nearly enough ground for him. I think this will be an interesting horse here in this spot. You're getting stretch out to a mile.
Do you worry about Provocative Prince being in there, though, with that horse? Do you think that it's this type of race is going to behoove a horse like Tannen, or is this going to play against her strengths?
I think the big concern is the filly stealing it. There's really not a whole lot of other speed in here.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
I mean, if she can just kind of get out and cruise along, she might get brave. Second time off the bench should help her.
Being close to the rail is going to help, I think, on Kentucky Roll as well, too.
Won't hurt, and a lot of these other ones want to stalk. You might see more speed from Tannen. I mean, only 3 lengths back as they went 22 and 3 to the opening quarter last time out. But it might be fairly soft up top. Roll the Stone might be the other close pursuer with a quick half-mile drill, 47 and 1, getting ready for this one. But had a few chances now. Each starts only a second and a third is a 4-year-old against a bunch of 3-year-olds. But another tricky race there, McCord.
It's on a night full of them. Yeah.
9th race. We're going 7 furlongs with a group of fillies and mares. 62.5 is the number here. Where'd you land on?
Really excited on this one because two of my favorites that have had some great breakout races this year. I'm going to go with the 4. Check out the Tiger at 5-1. Again, Rigo Sarmiento, this is the type of horse that he absolutely loves. Needs a strong start to not fade late. But I've seen this horse grow a lot this season. We've seen some really great showing from Check Out the Tiger. And he's coming off a win too. So it's certainly something in this race that he can build upon. Parkham Cowgirl as well. Great back speed. Gonna have the blinkers on today, if I'm not mistaken. Nice horse to come in from the 9 spot on the outside. I think is going to show really well. So look at it. Check Out the Tiger and Parkham Cowgirl. Maybe though, you'll probably know more about this than me. What about Something About Me at the 2-1? The drop in class recently.
If you get beat by the leading rider and the leading trainer at 8-5, you're going to feel pretty bad about yourself. So definitely a horse you want to cover, even though she is dropping down to a better spot here. 62.5 from 10 in her last 3. This was a stake winner last year. Might just be looking for her spot as a 4-year-old. The waters get so much deeper from 3 to 4. It's a big drop. She's been the beaten favorite in her last 2. Looks like a win spot. And I mean, 100% a horse you want to have on your ticket.
Okay.
Lila Lorraine claimed and dropped. Not always a great sign. For 10,000 now, going to be in for 62.5. Roadside Kiss is a winner, 2 starts back. But Something About Me, definitely a horse you want to have. Bonita Rapids ran some competitive races down at Turf Paradise in the winter there. There's allowance 3,500, which can be pretty salty. A couple seconds and a win. Now gets to go 7 furlongs for Kirsty Luft. It's another one, maybe have a look at a longer price. But Something About Me, definitely the horse. The race kind of runs through her in this one. Race number 10, Anchor Leg. This one is a fun one. Where do you start here, Mr. McCord?
Man, where do you want to go? I think Groomed is going to be the horse to beat here. 6 starts, never in the money. It's the day of the day for a horse like Groomed. I would hope so. That's got the numbers behind it to help it. But also, I like Cozy Caper at the 2-1. And I know Shady Biz is coming off of the layoff. Can he come back off that layoff after 2 months? The numbers suggest yes, but at the same time, who knows after that long of inactivity, right? So lots of ways you can go here.
Starting with the 10 there in Cozy Caper, Dave Nicholson sends this one out 9 times, sent to the track, 6 times the favorite, and still looking for that maiden score. There are going to go just 5 furlongs today, which is probably going to be his best shot to win. Does get in light with the Bug Boy and Mauricio Malvez. From the 10 hole, I think they're rocking and rolling early and see how far this one can go and if they can catch him. I think. Well,
and if you look for Cozy Caper too, if you look at those 6 furlong races, he's always shown nicely and then sort of gets lost in the shuffle towards the end. So if you can, the late burst of speed is going to be a problem for him, but if
he can get out by 10, it might not matter.
Exactly. That's the thing. If you can get out nice and early, then it's not going to be a problem, I don't think. So Cozy Caper looking really good and Groomed as well.
Heading back to the horse you mentioned there on the inside and Shady Biz, does have to get out of the gate well. That's going to be the biggest thing going 5 furlongs. You can't blink and miss that start. Was off since June 16th, but did keep pretty good company there in the 1 start there for no price. Addison Avoya, the 1st, 3rd, I think 4th place finishers came back to win. The 2nd place finisher in that race has come back to win a couple of times. So it's been quite a productive race that he was 4th in. So we'll see if Shady Biz can score here on the drop to the bottom and just for $5,000. Frost Canyon drops as well. I talk about Groomed. This one, same thing. Lots of tries for maiden allowance, 17.5, 12.5. Now cuts his price in half again. And Ruben Lara jumps on for Jonah Petrowski. Interesting one is the 5 Socrates, I think. And this might be one it might be tough if you're playing the horizontals, but vertical tickets anyways. The key horse in his race was Ever True, who we talked about earlier, maybe one of the keys to this Pick-5. He did finish up 3rd behind him last time out. So if Ever True one's off the screen, maybe you want to elevate Socrates if you're playing those verticals in the 10th and final race tonight, but lots of ways to go, and it is a tricky sequence, like I mentioned a couple times here. 42 horses left in the body of the races. A $70,000 Pick-5 carryover will tip in race number 6 tonight. You got the brown liquor and the big screen going for this?
You know, I got the brown liquor and the big screen going for this one, man. Listen, like we were talking about this earlier. I was in BC. I've been off for 2 weeks. I've been quite literally in the middle of nowhere. This is an absolutely perfect way to dive right back into the pool, man. With the $70,000 to head start is just fantastic. Like you said, if we get up to like $400,000, $500,000 tonight, we're laughing. This is going to be an absolutely incredible sequence. This Pick-5.
I don't think that is out of the question. We'll see how the play rolls in early. Probably able to tell by the first couple of races to see where we're going to get to. Again, all 5 races in that sequence on TVG tonight. So should be a pool worth wagering into here at Century Mile. Pick-5 carryover, $70,000. That goes in race number 6. Pick-4 carryover, $15,000 in race number 2. Good luck deciphering that sequence. Thanks, McCord.
All right. Thanks, Matt. Cheers.